If you've ever sat in a math class staring at a chalkboard full of equations, you know the feeling. The symbols blur together and the logic slips away until the material looks like an alien language. We often treat mathematics as a cultural technology, an artificial invention we created, like the alphabet or the wheel. This assumes math is something we have to build from scratch in every student's mind. Developmental biologists found evidence that contradicts that assumption. They discovered it by studying humans who cannot speak, cannot walk, and have never seen a classroom, 6-month-old infants. Researchers sit these babies in front of monitors to track their eye movements as they watch screens showing different quantities of dots. The data reveals a specific pattern. When the quantity of dots stays the same, babies lose interest. But the moment that number changes, their gaze duration spikes. They notice a numerical difference before they even have words for it. This creates a paradox. If math is purely a cultural invention, it would be impossible for a baby to perceive it. The fact that they can suggests that math is part of our biological nature. This biological number sense begins with a phenomenon called subitizing. When small groups of 1, 2, or 3 shapes flash on screen, you perceive the quantity immediately. But when that number jumps to 7 or 8, that reflex fails. Your brain must slow down to consciously count them. This gap between instant recognition and conscious counting exists because of the specific way we evolved. Our ancestors needed to identify the bush with the most fruit in a heartbeat, or recognize instantly when they were outnumbered by predators. Basic arithmetic is a hardwired survival reflex. It is an ancient ability shared by our earliest ancestors and the rest of the animal kingdom alike. If this behavior is hardwired, there must be a physical location inside our heads where this instinct lives. Modern anatomy points to a specific region of the brain, the parietal lobe. Deep within this lobe is the intraparietal sulcus. This is our number module, a specialized cluster of neurons that fires whenever we process quantities. This module is as specialized as any other biological system. The visual cortex processes light, the auditory centers process sound, and this hardware processes numbers. This anatomy is universal. Every healthy human is born with this structure, regardless of their culture or their access to formal education. This mathematical hardware is a baseline physical reality for our entire species, rather than a genetic lottery reserved for a few geniuses. We are left with a final contradiction. If we all have a dedicated math module, why do subjects like calculus or abstract algebra feel so difficult? The difficulty comes from the gap between our primal instinct for quantity and our cultural invention of symbolic math, the variables, digits, and equations we use today. Modern education asks our ancient number module to perform symbolic gymnastics. We are asking a primal brain structure to process abstract concepts it hasn't had the evolutionary time to adapt to. Struggling with an equation is the result of forcing an ancient survival instinct to process a modern, alien language. We can stop viewing math as an artificial burden. It is a biological sense that operates constantly in the background every time you estimate a distance or divide a meal. Mathematics is a biological instinct like sight or smell. You do not have to be a genius to use it. You simply have to be human.